Good day, beautiful people. Hope you're all. Hold on a second. It is January 3rd. Hope you're all doing well, baby. 2022. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. Today we're going live, doing things differently. Bear with me a few seconds, gang. This is an experiment. It's a first for you and me, you and I. We're going firsts. And bear with me a few seconds. We're gonna try to go online. We're doing online live on YouTube right now. I'm going to try to go live on Instagram at the same time. Set this bad boy up. Live. Enable camera. All right. Enable access to microphone. Set this back up here. There. Cool beans. So we've never done the live video on Instagram either. This is a brand new episode. I guess it's a brand new year. It's 2022, baby. Let's see if we can figure this bad boy out together. Tap for photo or hold for video. I'm not gonna hold a damn button for the entire duration of the video. That's just that's retarded. Checking connection. You're live now. Oh yeah, baby. I think we're rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Glad you made it. Hope you're all safe and sound. It is January 3rd, 2021. Your boy's back at it again. If you're watching, if you're a new person coming along for the show, welcome to Glad You Made It. If you're a longtime listener and viewer, thank you for all the love and support. We're a small little community growing online. Your boy's out here trying to do a little bit of the fam jam, a little bit of that podcast comedy show if we can. Let's see what's happening. I'm gonna keep tabs on everything, trying to juggle a lot of things today. And again, it's an experiment, so bear with me. What do we have here on the screen? We're telling your followers that you started a live video. Hang on, we're telling more followers to join your video. More followers. Great stuff. So I think this is it. This is it. Brand new, I guess. Normally I'd use the GoPro for the videos. Today we're opting for the zoom option from the laptop's webcam, but it is what it is, baby. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's safe and sound. You know, I said to myself, it's a brand new year. You're going to do different things. We're going to try different things. Not to say anything set in stone. Again, if this is all about learning, this is all about having fun, and hope everybody's safe and sound, man, wherever you are in and around this beautiful planet. Didn't want to start off with that, but that's the way, normally we come in with different, it's a different intro. Sometimes you'll do a little, let's pretend this is the intro. Let's pretend this is the second take, take two, action. Let's sing a little song, baby. You and I, let's sing a little bit together. Whether you're on Instagram, you can catch these videos. You're on YouTube, and if you want to, you want to check out Patreon, we're growing it. It's a little teeny tiny community. People are checking it out. Everybody's talking about it. We're the most intense podcast out there. One of the most intense. It's hardcore, but it's also softcore, which is basically like medium core, which is where your core is at anyway. So we're right down the center, baby. It's always a pleasure to be amongst the crew. Let's sing a little bit together. Let's get silly with it, baby. Loosen up. Have some fun. Loosen up. Have you seen my freedoms, baby? Have you seen my freedoms, baby? Used to be a thing, but isn't no more. I said, used to be a thing, but isn't no more. Gotta wear a mask just to go to the store. I said, gotta wear a mask just to go to the store. Have you seen our freedom, baby? Have you seen our freedom, baby? All the mandates sound kind of crazy. Yeah, baby, it is rock and roll, baby, doing it up. Oh, tossing all the old into the far distance behind us, bringing in new energy. New energy is all it's served out today, baby. That's what it is. Hope everybody's just, hope everybody's had fun. I hope you guys had a beautiful holiday. It's been, holidays are over now. I hope you guys had the great pleasure of spending time with yourselves, with your family members, with your friends, strangers, whatever you're doing, man, we're cooking now. We are cooking now. We're at that stage of we've been dealing with a lot of stuff. We've been dealing with a lot of stuff. It's time to grow. It's time to expand our wings and fucking make like pigeons and fly, baby. That's what it is. Not spy pigeons from the 50s, baby, just regular pigeons. Pigeons that be running crews, man. I see them. If you're in Toronto, you know what I'm talking about. It's winter time right now. We're in the negative double digits. If you're anywhere in the GTA, you know what I'm talking about. If you're in the northeast, corner of the, I'm not that great at geography, but if you're in the northeast in North America, if you're in the north, you know what I'm talking about, baby. If you're down in Americas, if you're in Boston, you're checking the show out. It's freezing, probably. I'm guessing. They say, Chicago, the windy city. They say a lot of things. Seattle's not on. I don't think Seattle's on the East Coast. I think Seattle's more further to the west. But nonetheless, it gets windy. It gets cold. We're in the negative double digits, which is great. Who doesn't love the negative double digits? Negative double digits are essentially that time. Ladies, if you want to freeze your eggs, now is an excellent time. Just drop a couple, just leave it outside. It'll freeze on its own. No need to go to a local professional. No need to go to a doctor. No need to do anything, baby. You just drop those eggs. It'll freeze automatically outside, saving you money, also preparing you for the future, because you never know, you might not want to have any babies right now immediately. Maybe that's not on the horizon for you, but you might want to save them for a rainy day, or whenever, because that's what it is, baby. Things are, you got to be careful outside. You got to be careful, preserve it. And negative double digits, it's that time of year where you can go ahead and stick your tongue out. Stick your tongue out a little bit on metal objects. Let it attach. Feel alive for a second or two. And if you're like, man, I don't have access to metal objects on my body, you ain't got no metal on your possession. No worries. You can always, if it's cold outside, it pretty much works on any surface area, whether it's plastic, to hell, even another human being, dude. Spit on your hand, just stick it on somebody's, neck, just warm them up for a second. You'll get stuck together, and that's how you build bonds, baby. That's how you build great relationships. This is all very new for me as well. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I really don't know where it's gonna go. But my intention from the get-go, again, if you're a long-time listener and viewer to the show, thank you very much for all the love and support. This is the first time we're going live. My intention from the get-go is just mostly it's been about the, get some of the jokes out, get some of the laughs out, and do what we can with what we can right now. Here in Canada, we're still under a lot of restrictions. A lot of, mobility's been tampered with, a lot of tampering, baby, a lot of tampering with the mobility. But that's all right. We're gonna get through it together. Canada, we need everybody to just stand together, stand firm, stand strong, and voice your opinions, voice your concerns. There's a lot of issues that still need to be dealt with, a lot of concerns that we've all got going on that's impacting you and I together on this beautiful third day of January of 2022, man. Where does the time go? How do we get here? We ask so many questions, so many other questions are meant to be asked. A lot of answers are still out there in the periphery, just waiting for us to we're fishing for answers right now, baby. Reel it in. What do you got there? Ooh, is that an answer? No, got catfished. Wrong answers. That's what it is. But that's all right, baby. We'll move forward. And negative double digits. It's a great season for coupling up. If you're single out there, go ahead and couple up. Keep yourselves warm. If you're already in a coupled relationships, or maybe triples are now a thing, or at least I hear. I don't know. I've never dabbled in it myself, but they say more the merrier. That's what they say. So bring in the heat. Bring in everybody together. Bring yourselves close within other people. Start living your best lives wherever you are, and ask questions and demand certain things, because before we can, this is supposed to be a comedy podcast. It's supposed to be a form of expression for me, and hopefully I can be of service to all the good men and women out there, the boys and the girls who want to get down with the silly here in Toronto, here in Ontario, in Canada, anywhere else in the world. If you're watching, thank you very much. But essentially, I want to be doing more And I figure, why not? Why not? What are you afraid of going live? What's, you've always been, what's the alternative? Going dead? Can't have that. Can't have that, son. Can't, and that's the thing. Luckily, we have experience with a lot of things. It's not like, little side note, and here again, this is, we're going for a live episode. Normally, we shoot the videos and then we upload them on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams, on the Patreons. But, we're all about storytelling here. We're all about storytelling. And, luckily we have a lot of experience with a lot of things. Could you imagine being amongst the first humans ever? Like just the first batch of humans crawling about this earth. You don't know what's what. There's no set precedent on anything. Let's say you're hypothetically, you're working in a small group. You're 10 people. You have no idea what's out there. Everything's brand new. Nothing's, everything's a surprise. You're always on your toes. You have no idea what's going on. What's this feeling that I'm getting every time that what is hunger? What is feeling tired? What's laughter? What's crying? What's anything, right? And then you're in a group. Maybe there's 10 of you. You don't know what to do with anything. You don't know how to deal with the circumstances. Somebody drops dead. No set precedent. You don't even know what dead is. You don't even know what dead is, man. If you were the first original 10 or however many were the first originals, you didn't know what was going on, man. So somebody drops dead, all of a sudden, they're not used to it. The gang's not used to it. Everybody's just wonder, what do we do with Johnny over here? He's not moving, man. Come on, you got to get a move on, Johnny. There's a whole, we got big tigers with big fangs. We got woolly mammoths to worry about. We got, quicksand. That was a thing in the past, man. You got to watch out for the quicksand, and those are the elements, but people didn't know. So Johnny drops dead. They just think he's snoozing. A day goes by. Johnny, all right, enough napping. We got to get moving. Because people moved a lot, one cave to the next until they, find better, more suitable places where, the cost of life wasn't so much. Cost of life wasn't really an issue back then. It was just mostly like, where's the safest area? Got to get yourself a nice cave, maybe a little bit of grasslands, maybe a little, go hunt a little piggy. You didn't even know what to do with it. You probably ate it raw, ass first. But point that I'm trying to make is there was just a lot of surprises. You didn't have any set precedents. You didn't know what to do. Somebody drops dead. You carry him around. You carry him around for a week, a couple of weeks, and then everybody's starting to question. Like 9 people out of 10 are starting to question Johnny's motives. Well, what's his intent? What's he trying to pull over here? Come on, man. Stop being a lazy bum. Pull your own load. But that was the thing, because it was security in numbers. So you couldn't just originally ditch Johnny just because he's going limp, dude. You couldn't just ditch him. You had to carry him around. So they did that for a couple of months. They just carried him around. I'm like, man, this guy. And there were, a few people who kind of got cheesed in the beginning, in the early stages. But then like a couple of months, maybe 2-3 months went by. A few other people in the group started kind of, give him a little low-key, slow clap round of applause, just because they were kind of, it's admirable if you can go method with that. If you can just like sink in and just like, because they thought he was playing. They thought he was playing. They're like, all right, Johnny, go on, buddy. Got us, man. But like, seriously, wake up. And Johnny's just out cold. But again, no set precedent, because that's the thing. Imagine you're the first few people. You have no idea what being alive. You just, whatever, you just drop there. You're alive and kicking. You've never seen a dead body. You've never had you've never dealt with that kind of stuff. And what do? 6 months you're carrying Johnny around. All of a sudden he starts to really stink up the place. Somebody goes out of the 9 people that's remaining from the group. Somebody's like, man, somebody smelling kind of extra today. Somebody kind of smelling like. And that's the thing. A lot of it, they went around. They're like, do you smell anything? Do you smell anything? And a lot of them said no, because at the time, you got to remember, no showers, no personal hygiene. Everybody stank back then. Everybody was stinky back then. So it was just like, is Johnny stinky a little bit extra today? Or is it, everybody went around just sniffing their armpits, sniffing their buttholes, whatever they could sniff, they sniffed. And the smell didn't seem to be an indication that Johnny's out cold for good, though. But that's the thing. That scenario can go on for a good year, and it's cold outside. So he's kind of well preserved, like relatively speaking, of course. And they didn't even know anything about it. You can check his pulse. You can, is there any air coming out of his lungs? Is there any, is there any sort of pulse, any sort of activity going on? None of that. But long story short, everybody had to learn the hard way, and then eventually they just like, that's what it is. Who knows what they did with Johnny? Maybe they fed off him, maybe they went cannibalistic for a little while, maybe they eventually got to the, who knows how long it took us to realize, man, we need to bury the dead, because that thing's gonna just, be a whole, it's gonna be a cesspool of germs and just viruses and bacteria if you let it go for too long. But it depends really where you were. If you were higher up north in the altitude, maybe that, maybe the body will last a little bit longer. Maybe if you were somewhere in the tropics, or if you're somewhere south below the equator, you might get away with it for a shorter period of time. Nonetheless, that's something you're gonna have to deal with. How do we get here? We got here, and we got here by surprise, baby. That's what it is. Nobody knows. Who knows? But point that I'm trying to make is that we didn't have any precedents. We always panicked. We didn't know what to do when new challenges were thrown at us by life. You're just walking down the street, challenge. What is that? A cougar stole the baby. Challenge, not accepted on that particular day, but eventually we learned. And now is the time that we're facing all sorts of new challenges all day, every day, baby. And it's time to start thinking outside the box. Time to really, and I know for a lot of us here, and glad you made it with the family. I know whoever checks out the show at least is a proponent of thinking outside the box. We're here. We're all about freedoms. We're all about choices. We're all about staying loose with it, getting loose out there. You feel me? We're all about just having fun, trying to stretch our limbs out here. And in Canada, we've really got to take this time right now, I think personally. And again, I'm just nobody, dude. I'm nobody. I'm your friend. I'm your man. I'm your neighbor. I'm your brother. I'm your cousin, dude. I'm your local neighborhood cuz going about it. But I've got a few concerns, and I think this is not just me, because I do talk about whole different types of issues with all sorts of people during my day. Sometimes during the evening, doesn't matter. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people are just on the same page in terms of, what are we doing here with all these lockdowns, man? Nothing makes sense anymore. And yes, nothing does make sense, and it's time for us to stand up. I believe in a lot of the major cities around the world. I was just watching videos, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Amsterdam, in Holland, they were doing mass demonstrations or protests against the COVID measures, against the lockdowns, against the vaccine mandates. And here we're all about science. We're all about funny science, and just everything good. But we're mostly about uplifting ourselves together, you and I, whatever it is that we can do. And a lot of things need to be questioned. A lot of people's motives need to be questioned. A lot of things need to, because that's what it is, man. We can't be moving forward. I never signed up. I don't think anybody did. None of this is voluntary. None of this is feeling like, oh, it's just, it feels like a lot of coercion. It feels like a lot of silencing. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been, like many of you guys, you probably do your own research on a whole array of topics on a daily, because that's what it is. Life is so individualistic. Life is so dependent on whichever variables you're dealing with. You can't really have this one blanket statement or one remedy that'll suit everybody in any circumstance, whether it's a medical circumstance, whether it's a financial circumstance, whether it's a whatever circumstance it is, baby. You can't just have one sort of remedy. You can't just have one sort of can't just fix everything with one sort of medicine. Both, that's both an analogy and metaphorically, but also literally speaking. You can't just fix everything with one type of medicine. And you especially can't be going around enforcing it through coercion, through, intimidation, firing people, letting people go out their jobs, telling people to shut down their businesses. Who's essential? Are you essential? Have you been essential this year? Were you essential, dude? Lady, is your business essential? I bet it is to you and your family. I bet it is to you and your family, man. But that's the thing we learned. And sometimes the lessons in life, you got to learn it the hard way. Sometimes, some people learn from examples. Some people are clearly, I myself have to, I'm the type that learns the hard way myself, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. But in retrospect, it's always good to learn. At least we're trying. But some people always look at others for, potential mistakes that they've made in the past. Some others, look at other examples that are already existing. in history, and we like to draw examples. We like to review history. We like to look at everything and be like, hey, man, if we can avoid certain particular mistakes that we made in the past, bueno, let's not do it. Let's not put it on repeat, baby. Let's not run it back. Let's not run it back and say we didn't. How about that? That's what it is, because a lot of us want to just be, I was watching interviews, people in Holland, they're just talking everywhere too. You see it in Italy, you see it in Spain, you see it in France, you see it everywhere, man, everywhere. And if you're, that's the thing here in Western society, I am fully aware of the privileges and freedoms that I have. And there are a lot of things to be thankful for, but there's also a lot of things to be working for and trying to preserve so we can all make it better together. And if you're in a part of the world that's unfortunately due to, way too much government oversight in your region, you feel like you're restricted in your mobility and your everyday life, it's time that we all stand up together. It's time that we all unite together as a people, as a unit, because I really do believe in this notion of, yes, we are all one. We're all individuals, but we are also this one beautiful collective entity called the human race, which is fucking fantastic, baby. It's such a privilege to be a human, dude. But that's the thing. It's a privilege, but it's not a privilege. Some argue and some say it's a God-given right, which, that's to each their own, whatever you believe in. But in terms of rights and privileges, there have been a lot of tampering with the rights and the privileges, and we gotta fight together, man. I know, if I'm not mistaken, on January 23rd, there's going to be a march in Washington, if I'm not mistaken, on January 23rd. It's going to be against the whole mandates, the whole vaccine uh, enforcement, the whole lockdown situations, the overall government overreach, and just I think overall it's not brought to you by anybody. I wish we had to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging. I don't know if anything's going down in Toronto or in Ontario or in Canada in any form or shape that we can all somehow collectively maybe speak our minds and just get a different change the dialogue a little bit, change the narrative a little bit. And I know a lot of people are talking. A lot of people are risking their jobs. A lot of people are, it's a tough situation. But at the end of the day, we do have to preserve personal freedoms in order to be able to move forward. We can't, whether it's because that's the thing, man. Again, I'm pro vaccine, I'm pro science, I'm pro medicine, but everything I think should be left to each individual to make the best decision for themselves. You should never give up those rights and have anybody else come in there and make them for you. Am I right, gang? Say what's up. Man, oh man. So today is going to be, like I said, it's an experiment. It's a first of its kind. I hope to do more of these live shows. I don't know if it'll become the new trend. Past year and a half since I started. If you're a long time listener and viewer to the show, thank you very much. You know what, your boy, I started off just making little funny, or at least what I think were funny little videos inside my car. Moved inside, started to build this little project going, and it's become this. And a lot of things that I'm happy about, a lot of things that I'm grateful for, but also a lot of things that need to be improved, that need to be worked on, and hopefully it gets better. That's the intent. It gets better, and hopefully we can do more together. But one of my other aims, why have I been doing this podcast? Why have I been trying to, make jokes on the lines? Is because, well, like a lot of you guys out there, my access to local facilities have been tampered with, or there's a lot of closures, a lot of limitations, a lot of nonsense. And everybody, this is not about, this is not, I'm not here to, I'm all about, I love when people come together. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care about your religious beliefs. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care about your, which party do you vote for. Where this is not about vaccinated, unvaccinated. This is not about black, white. This is not about race. This is not about gender. This is essentially one thing that we do need to get back in order to get other things going as well, is our freedoms, is our mobility. I don't see any other way forward. And my concern, like many other people's, and I don't even have a kid, is essentially, these pharmaceutical companies trying to make a push for children to be vaccinated. And I'm not no surprise to anybody. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional I'm not a professional any stretch of the imagination on any topic for that matter. Let's just set that record straight, especially because this is a live show. Perhaps there are people watching that don't know what's going on, or well, it is what it is, man. You'll find out in due time. We like to mix it up, storytelling with a little bit of the jokes, a little bit of here and again. If we can toss a couple of art pieces on the background for everybody to enjoy, we do that as well. But we do need to get our freedoms back in order to be able to move forward, man. A lot of restaurants, a lot of comedy clubs, a lot of gyms, a lot of hair salons, a lot of businesses have been dealing with a tumultuous time and not getting sufficient. You can't even just pay a little bit of money to people and be like, here's your, whatever supplement, because that's never enough. That's never enough. And people want more, people deserve more. And I don't like labels, dude. I don't like labels, but I do believe in people going out there and trying to get it on their own, whatever it may be, whether it's whatever you're into, I support it. But we do need access to humanity. We do need access to each other's connections. For example, for me to be able to go out there and try to start, taking those wee little baby steps, I do need access to comedy clubs. I do need access to certain locations, to people in general, just freely expressing themselves, being out there. And it should be left up to everybody moving forward to make their own decision. I don't think this is in any point of our human history, anytime any group of people have come down on another group of people and started to tell them what to do, whether it was based on religious ideologies, whether it was based on scientific ideologies, if it stemmed from that, again, there's precedents set in history for different reasons, and we've got those valuable hard lessons that we've all had to deal with, ancestrally speaking, generationally speaking, so that we don't go down these same paths essentially. And I'm just one dude trying to do what makes me happy, which is first and foremost comedy. But second, I don't even know, no particular order, but to me, one main thing that's extremely important to me is just one word. If I can just summarize it in one word, that is freedom above all else, personal freedoms. I think a lot of you guys out there feel the same way wherever you are, because nobody likes being told what to do. Nobody likes having, and it's not justified. It doesn't. I'm not an expert. There have been plenty of people out there who put it way more eloquently, who take the time to do the research, to come up with the alternative facts, to come up with notions that we can all rely on, so that it's not just this one narrative or just one particular agenda being put on the public. And I just feel like everybody's got to do their part. I don't know what my part is, but I believe my part is trying to tell stories and making people laugh. But I do need people to get up there, stand up, do the right thing, stand up for each other's personal rights, because it's extremely crucial. We cannot literally do anything else until we cross this bridge. Now, mind you, we're still going to have fun. We're still going to tickle each other's fancies via the internets, but this is not healthy for society. This is not healthy for people. People need to, the whole mask wearing situation where you can't see people's mouths, where you can't see people's eyes, where you can't really you can't read social cues. How detrimental is that for the kids? And I don't even have kids, but I remember being a kid once. Who knows, twice. Maybe I was a slow kid. Maybe I repeated myself. But point is that you need to be out there engaging in social activities with people. You can't be living under a rock or trying to shelter yourself so that you don't catch the cooties, because there's so many cooties out there. That's just reality. Whether it's schmovid, whether it's herpes, whether it's the clap baby, whether you know what it is, baby, it's out there. But that's humanity. And there's always, it sucks, but there's always going to be diseases. There's always going to be external factors and unfortunately, there's always going to be lives lost. That's not to take away. We're not here to take away from that, but we're not here to only focus on those numbers either. And we're not, even if we were to focus on those numbers, again, as sad as it is, but people die from all sorts of diseases, respiratory diseases, all sorts of ailments all the time. The flu kills a ton of people every year, and this has just been ongoing and ongoing. And I don't know what else we're waiting for. And I don't know if we don't. I feel like 2021 was the year that we were, and we've had a year and a half, 2 years dealing with this situation. But if we don't put a stop to it, or if we don't stand up, I don't see governments willingly giving up their hold over us, because that's what it is, man. We've every couple of weeks, every month, you hear a new update, and it's just a little bit of easing, further lockdowns, a little bit of easing, further restrictions. And I don't know but I don't want this. I think we're in a hopeful stage. I think Omicron is evidently, again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a medical professional by any stretch of the imagination, but as diseases evolve and move forward, they do tend to get a little bit weaker over time. And this is what number of variant is this? We skip a couple of letters, so we're on Omicron now, but that should pretty much wrap it up. And I think there are a lot of people that just feel. I need people to speak up. We need more people to speak up. If you feel coerced into getting medication or a treatment, because a lot of times we got to think about them. We do a lot of things based on, yes, there is notions of free will and what have you, but we do a lot of activities based on, based on our peers' behaviors, based on that, peer pressure. Remember when you were younger, and whether it was you were, or maybe you got caught up in something that, somebody's picking on somebody at school, you're a kid, and you don't want to be the kid that's been picked on. So maybe you gang up on someone. It's so easy to gang up, or maybe, I don't know, mob mentality. It's so easy to just get hypnotized, and it's so easy to just out of fear. Because, and I understand it's been a challenging couple of years for a lot of people, but we need to move beyond this. We need to reach down inside and grab life wherever you want to grab it. But we got to grow a pair of you got to grow your testicles, you got to grow your balls, you got to grow your labias, you got to grow. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to get to. You got to grow, and you got to be not fearful of things. Because fear doesn't get anybody anywhere, man. Fear doesn't get anybody anywhere, and intimidation tactics do not work wherever you are. I hope we can move forward sooner rather than later, so we can get to our business, baby, because time's precious, life is precious. We don't have time to sit around. And I think everybody should just, at this point, everybody should live their life using their own common sense, using their own discretion. If you want to go get medicine, if you want to go get vaccinated, by all means, go get vaccinated, go get the medicine that you think is suitable for you. But a lot of people out there, if you don't feel that it's right for you, you have every right to feel that way. Again, these things are relatively new. It's been around for, the drugs have been around for what, a year now, give or take. There are a lot of factors that have gone unchecked. There are a lot, and again, I'm not a researcher, I'm not a scientist. There are many people out there doing great things, and it's fantastic, because that's what it is, man. We rely on everybody, and I'm happy to see other people talking about it. I'm happy to see other people bringing up valid scientific points so that we can actually have a discussion rather than being told what to do. I hope we can move forward and get to the fun stuff, baby, because life's about the basics. Eating good food, baby. Getting out there, seeing a thing or two, experiencing life. Sometimes, you might even fall and scrape your damn knee. But that's a lesson learned, isn't it? That's the most, you happen to remember life's ups and downs. You don't remember the regular days are just a day, but you remember the ups and the downs. Everybody needs to have the ups and the downs. You got to go up and you got to go down, baby. You can't just live in the cocooned life, because that's essentially, a lot of movies come out and talk about this in different forms. Whether you want to talk about, is this a global totalitarian movement going on? Maybe. Is there, we've had the new Matrix just came out, and this, the analogy is so, holds up today, and we gotta take that, whether we're asking questions regarding medicine, bioethics, whether we're asking questions about, and it's always going to evolve and it's always going to change. Nothing's ever constant. The only constant, they say, is motherfucking change. But we need actual change to come. We can't just look, because that's what it is, man. Unfortunately, because it's simple yet it's very complex at the same time as well. A lot of things are interconnected, intertwined, and a lot of things get influenced by power and money. Money, 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 money. It sounds silly, and it may sound like the most basic. That's what it is. There's a ton of money to be made, and there are a lot of companies out there who are benefiting from these lockdowns, from these restrictions, from all the necessary steps that they've now coerced us to take part in one shape or form. I can't even go to the damn grocery store without having to put a mask on. I can't even, it's I can't even enter my own building without a mask on, which is, it's just, enough is enough, everybody. Enough is enough. Let's get our common senses back. Again, to each their own. Everybody should have this notion that you should live your life according to your own will and means, whatever it is that, if you're an elderly individual, maybe, and that's the thing that's always been the case, the elderly population have always taken precautionary measures, have always been a little bit on the safer side, and rightly so. It makes sense. People with comorbidities, if you've got underlying health concerns, of course you should always be careful. Of course you should be getting exercise. Of course you should be getting extra vitamins in your day. Of course you should be doing whatever it is that you can to enhance your own life in any shape or form. But other than that, everybody else who's just, living their life, there's a ton of risks to be assessed. And there's a lot of risks that we all take on a daily, that nobody comes and asks you, oh, do you want to go skydiving? No, you shouldn't be allowed to skydive. Do you want to go ride a bike? No, you shouldn't be allowed to ride a bike. Do you want to eat this exotic dish that's been prepared for you by this one chef down in Southeast Asia? And if the meal's not prepped right, you might get food poisoning and die. Do people deter you from those actions on a daily? No. Do people ask you, why are you getting a tattoo? Why are you modifying your body however you, why are you working out so much? Do people, that's what it is. We need to just mind our own business and appreciate each other's individuality and notions of freedom. That's what it is. Because this is not, again, respect each other. Just give each other respect. This is not to divide. I think the mass media, the conglomerates, the news media outlets, they do a fine job at dividing us, at pitting us in groups and non-existent groups, because in reality, if you get down to the core of it, if you speak with people on the ground anywhere, most individuals are very much in the middle of everything. For the most part, most people just want to be safe, want to be able to provide for their families, want to be able to move about freely wherever they wish. Not a lot of people are on the extreme ends, but the extreme ends are what sells. They sell it because that's the headline in the news that you're going to read. Oh, far left did this, or the far right did that, or this group did this, or everybody. It's so easy to just and they're paid to do these things. They're paid to go focus on these little subcultures and amplify them and exaggerate them beyond belief, because that's the attention grabbing title that we're going to read. Oh my God, whatever it is. And I don't even want to name some things, but you know what it is. Every time you read the news, it's just hyperbolic. It is not real for the most part. It is a story, and this is essentially one of the things that we do have to move forward. And again, we need to work on getting our freedoms back so we can actually do things. But we do need to think of alternative ways of utilizing money in our everyday society, because one of the biggest reasons why we're in this situation and why we've been in these types of similar situations. I know we've not had anything similar like this, but in different, whether it's wars, whether we're fighting over natural resources, whether we're fighting over land, which is again natural resources, whatever it is that it's mostly due to people wanting to make a ton of money, and it's just always against. That's why I'm not the type that I don't like to put myself in a group. I don't like to, bear any flags. I don't like to chant any slogans. I am an individual who likes to think for, I like to think that I think for myself. And I know like many people, I'm influenced by many different factors and I've got my own biases. But at least what I try to do on a daily is come in and check myself and check my surroundings so that I don't repeat the same things. And it's been this narrative from the government, from the when did we sign up for this? I never in my mind would have I don't think anybody would have imagined that we have now health officials coming in and dictating to people what they should be doing with their lives, where you should be going, how you should be moving about, what you should be consuming, what you're putting in your body and what you're putting in your children's bodies. And these are all things that we should be thinking about and talking about without having the fear of being, you know, punished for it, because that's what it is. Who knows what the long-term impact of anything is until there's time passed and you have 5, 10, 15, 30 years of research and peer-reviewed journals going into it from all different angles. That's the only way that you're going to find out what's what. Any product, if it's brand new on the market and if it's being forced upon you, you should always question it, whether it's medicine, whether it's food, whether it's clothing, whether it's an automobile, whether it's a new self, whatever it is. If it's brand new in the public, you should always question it, especially if it's being driven so hard as this whole situation has been. And again, there's a ton of money to be made. There's a ton of money to be made. And that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what we're doing in Canada. I don't know. I'm extremely disappointed in the leadership, to be honest with you, unfortunately. But that's what it is. You're gonna have to get some disappointments, and hopefully we learn from these disappointments so we can move forward and get smart about it. I don't know what the answers are, but I do believe it starts with love. It starts with appreciating each other for our differences, because it's so easy to love people who are similar to you. That's the easy job. Go out there and try to make peace or be loving towards those who are quote unquote different from you. That's something that's worth thinking about. And I don't know what we're doing in Canada in terms of, like, I know, again, like I said, I believe in the United States, it's going down on January 23rd. I believe it's called Defeat the Mandates. And again, this is everybody coming together. I hope I'm going to have to do more research if there's anything. And I've never been the type to go out there and like protest. I'm not going to get into that right now, but that's, I don't know what it is that we're going to have to do in order to get our freedoms back. But this is, I feel like we're just being, I think, like, I don't know, this is not the right way to do things. This is not the right path. And I think everybody knows in their heart of hearts, if you actually sit down and think to yourself, with yourself, have a moment of silence in your heart of hearts, you know that it's not right to tell anybody how to live their life, whether, again, it's based on religious ideologies, whether it's based on scientific ideologies or beliefs or notions, or any other means. You shouldn't be telling people how to live their life. Anybody, you live your own life. You do whatever that is suitable for you. It's very simple. Live and let die, or live and let live, one of those two, or both of them, who knows. But that's that, baby. That's that. I'm gonna do more research if there is anything going down. And so here's the thing. And just on New Year's Eve, I believe Quebec in Canada they got a new curfew. And if I'm not mistaken, I was reading 57 people in Montreal were ticketed for going out against the demonstration. So now we're at a point that we're not even able to go out there and hold peaceful demonstrations. And it's so unfortunate, because every time there is one of the reasons that I don't like going to demonstrations, why I don't like going to protests, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, but who knows what will happen in the future. But the point that I'm trying to make is that, unfortunately, a lot of groups are susceptible to being overtaken. So you might be a group of however many people that want to go out there, peacefully demonstrate, have a little march, go, do whatever. But unfortunately, there are times where, the media gets out there and, they focus on like two people who are like clearly outcasts, or just, agent provocateurs, if you will, and they get in there and and then the whole theme of the protest becomes depicted as, oh, anti-vax, anti-this or anti-that, whereas for most of this is the January 23rd is all about a peaceful demonstration of people wanting their freedoms back. It doesn't matter. And this is from what I've read, and I hope we do something similar. I hope we talk about similar topics and get out there and do something to gain our freedoms back. I don't know what it is that we're going to have to do, but sitting still and just waiting for politicians to dictate to us how to live our lives is not the answer. Really, if you think about it, seriously think about it, if anybody tells you how to live your life, that's not a pretty picture. It doesn't matter what kind of package it's coming to you, whether it's coming to you in form of a person who's got quote unquote, they wear a suit and tie, they look clean cut, they got that, they got a Western twist to them. It's totalitarianism is totalitarianism in any shape or form, or it's somebody, it's some cleric in the Middle East telling people how to live their life. This is, or some, dictator in North Korea, or other forms of dictatorships that are going on in and around this world all the time. I think this is the time, 2022 is the time for us to somehow collectively realize that there is probably one thing that trumps everything overall, and it's notions of freedom, and as much as we can have of it. Not to say, and people argue and you want to get philosophical about it, oh, there's no such thing as freedom, there's no free will, and everything's just whatever you want to believe. That's fantastic for you. That is fantastic for you. I do believe that we have a ton of freedom, especially at least here we're lucky to a certain degree in Western society. I can speak for myself and my place of residence, my home, Canada. We did have a lot of freedoms up until a couple of years ago, at least, and those freedoms are just being trampled on, and the media just doesn't seem to pay any attention to it, or they dismiss it, or there's messages in forms of propaganda and in forms of it's just deceitful. It's storytelling, but it's deceitful is what they're doing. They're not even telling you the news. And every day we're living in this, like, you get a monitor everywhere you go. They've installed monitors with daily numbers, and it feels like we're waiting every day. It feels like Big Brother having to come on the telly to tell you how to live your life. Oh, and listen to Big Brother today. We're gonna have to do it from today. It's just no bueno. Whoever is doing it for whatever. If you sit down by yourself, ask yourself if you think telling other people what to do is right in your heart of hearts. If you actually believe that, then I don't know where that leaves us, but I do believe in hearing everybody's side, and I don't think that this is the right method of doing things. I personally don't believe we can move forward if we don't tackle these issues and hopefully come up with a proper conclusion to it. And I hope that we can leave it all behind in 2021 and moving forward in 2022, baby. I hope we can all just live to enjoy life, go out there, go to restaurants freely, go out there and mingle with family members and friends, because life is precious, life is short. You never know what's gonna, you might be the most careful person out there. You might be under all sorts of lockdowns and you've gotten all the shots, and then you step out one day, you slip on ice and you crack your head open, and there you go. You got, watermelon brains all over the pavement now. That's life. Or you get into an accident, God forbid. I hope none of these things happen. But the point is that life is that mysterious bad boy. Life is that mysterious gal just handing out different cards every day. And big pharma, big tech, giant corporations are now in place of governments. We're now moving to if we don't stop it now, if we don't, this is the year, this is the time, this is, and I can, so every day we talk about different things, but I thought, come in on Monday, set a little bit of the tone. Not that, and every day we come in, I'm here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Most of the time I try to just stay on track of just like telling jokes. You want to tell a joke, tell the jokes, and that's fine. But I do want to be getting my freedoms back so that I can go and hopefully work on my little craft outside with peepsies, because we need each other. You and I need each other. You wouldn't want to be in a circumstance where you need people, but they're too afraid to get near you. That would suck. Help me, I'm under a bus. If only there was somebody to let me. And then you got to wait around. Do you have the schmovid? Do you have a test with you? Are you clean? Can I help this fellow or lady, or do I need to stay a safe distance away? Yeah, that's there have been so many movies made to depict these sorts of circumstances, whether it's like people turn into zombies and then little by little people start, only thinking about themselves and working from a place of fear or like, oh, everybody else is a zombie. I gotta stay away. And that's how they divide and conquer, baby, whether it's corporations, whether it's evil little governments trying to do evil little things out there, whatever it is that they're trying to do to divide us. I think we've got way more power together, united, because there's literally 8 billion people crawling this earth right now, and the numbers are give or take, but it's ever growing, and there's power in numbers. And they know that we are powerful. They know that we've got a lot to offer, and they know that this is not going to last. And this is the end of it, baby. 2022 is going to be our year. It's going to be your year. It's going to be my year. It'll be the 20s will be, hopefully it'll start to take shape and move towards a roaring 20s, if you will, rather than the snoozing 20s that we've had so far. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all the love and support. If you're a longtime listener and viewer to the show, thank you. I normally upload videos that are pre-recorded on the day of, and then I put them online. Today, I'm like, you know what? Go online and do a live sesh. Do a live sesh for the fam. That's what it is. So we did one today. It's been experimental. I don't know which direction it's going to go, but that's what it is, baby. Every day we're tweaking. Every day we're adjusting. Every day we're hoping that we're growing and making it better. And I'll be back here again on Wednesday, baby. In the meantime, stay safe out there. Have lots of fun. Talk about a lot of issues, whatever. Talk about stuff. Talk about your feelings. Talk about your emotions. Share what's on your mind. Don't be afraid of sharing your thoughts, whatever they may be. And I've been going back and forth between two cameras today, looking at the Instagram camera and then the YouTube's camera. Doing it for the fam, doing it for the love of the game, baby. Stay safe out there. Peace out in the meantime. And I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right now. I'll see you guys back here again on Wednesday. Peace out.